It's another beautiful day. It's another beautiful day to talk sport once again on Dominion Television. My name is Bolo Ajio Gumola. Promises to be exciting today as we have a whole lot lined up for your viewing pleasure. In-depth analysis, top-notch interviews, and of course, a highlight. You only get it right here on Dish Dial. Well, tell a friend to tune in this lovely morning. Don't forget we're live on YouTube, Dominion Broadcast on YouTube. You can also check us out also on our website, dominion.org.ng, and of course on Lumex TV app and on Niger TV app as well to enjoy all our programs. All right, yesterday, in case you missed it, we spoke to the media officer of the Super Falcons, Mary Akinshalos, who told us about the happenings in camp, as the girls continue their push for the very important 10th, WAFCON title. La Decima, the Spanish call it. Of course, here we call it Mission X. Of course, fingers crossed, we believe that the girls will do more, even more than we, of course, expect them to do. Once again, you're welcome on board. It's the Tuesday edition of the show. And of course, the FIFA Club World Cup entering a very important stage as we will be having the first semi-finals of the FIFA Club World Cup today. Fluminense will take on Chelsea Football Club, and we're calling for prediction today as usual. Get on the comments and drop a prediction. Of course, we'll do it 2,000 naira once you get it correctly. I don't care how many winners we get. We'll have 2,000 naira to give out on the show tomorrow. Toluwani Polabe is also here in the studio as usual, and together we're bringing you all of the news that you can use this beautiful morning. Good morning to you once again.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you, and I'm so excited to be here this wonderful morning. It's all loaded, it's all packed. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Absolutely. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And just like I mentioned earlier, don't enjoy this alone. Grab a popcorn, grab your drinks, and do share this. Yeah, share it on your Facebook, share it anywhere, from YouTube. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you get all the alerts, not the financial alerts anyways, and no notification each time we'll come live. Let's kickstart this morning from the local front, where the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has approved the dissolution of the board of Shooting Star Sport Club of Ibadan. That means the board, led by Honorable Olaniyan Akoro, will no longer continue and will be replaced by Honorable Taiwo Lekan Salami as the club's new chairman ahead of the new season. Shooting Stars, you recall, endured a difficult 2024-2025 season, slumming from second place to 8th position on the table. The club was also disqualified from the President Federation Cup because they fielded an ineligible player. Now, no official reason was given for this dissolution, but the news we got is that the man on your screen, Honorable Taiwo Salami, is the new chairman of the club. And I got this this message this morning from the Commissioner for Youth and Sport in Oyo State, Honorable Wasila Adegoke, who has been congratulating the new commissioner, the new chairman of Shooting Stars. As she wrote on her page this morning, I warmly congratulate, of course, the Honorable the Honorable Taiwo Lekan Salami on his appointment as the chairman of Shooting Stars Board. This appointment, approved by His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde, marks a renewed chapter for our beloved club and aligns with the governor's broader vision to reposition key institutions across the state. Honorable Salami is a respected leader with deep political and grassroots ties, and in Ibadan North, and I'm confident that he will bring fresh energy, purposeful leadership, and strategic direction to Shooting Stars. With his guidance and the full support of the Ministry of Youth and Sport, we look forward to driving the team towards domestic excellence and continental relevance. Governor Seyi Makinde's administration has consistently prioritized sport development, from infrastructure to talent nurturing, and we already seeing the results through the outstanding performance of our athletes across the country. The Ministry of Youth and Sport will work closely with the new 3SC board to identify areas of improvement, develop strategic plans, and implement policies that enhance performance. With discipline, teamwork, and dedication, I believe 3SC is on the path to becoming a source of pride for Oyo State and Nigeria at large. Toluwani, here you have it. A new chairman for Shooting Stars.
Yes.
Like I mentioned earlier, no official reason was given for the dissolution. All we just heard is that it's been dissolved and Honorable Taiwo Salami is coming on board. What's your thoughts on this appointment?
You know, for me, it's like you said, no reason. I think we should have a reason why, you know, the former board was dissolved.
No doubt about it. Like I also read earlier, you know, from second position to eighth position was appointing President Federation Club. The club was disgraced, honestly, because honestly, how would you feed an eligible player and we got thrown out of the competition?
You can't do that to a big club like Shooting Stars. So you must have discipline. You must put things in place, you know, for a club like Shooting Stars. And I think first, let me congratulate Honorable Taiwo Lekan Salami as the club news chairman ahead of the next season. And you know, we are just expecting that these changes will bring, you know, a new limelight for Shooting Stars as a big club in Nigeria. And you know, Honorable Wasilat Adegoke also, you know, sending their congratulative messages. You know, to the new honorable chairman of the club. I think in this development, we're just hoping that this propel Shooting Stars, you know, for greater height next season, and we just expect that things can be in place, you know, going forward for Shooting Stars. Because you know, looking at last season, it was terrible. You know, having to be in second position. You know, and now you know they went straight down to the 8th position. Also, players not you know, the right players were not filled in, you know, for the President's Federation Cup. So I think it's for me. We're hoping it's a new development that can propel Shooting Stars to the top.
You think it's a step further ahead for them or backward for Shooting Stars?
Okay, so
going by the pedigree of the newly appointed
chairman. For me, I would expect that, you know, the governor, for him to have picked Honorable Lekan Salami, I'm sure I don't want to say maybe it's a political, you know, system of the game of how they run it in, you know, in this body, and we're just hoping that it doesn't affect. If truly, you know, Honorable Lekan Salami is the best man for the job, you know, I think we should just be riding on his shoulders and supporting him all through and through. But you know, if he's not the right man for the job, I'm sure the governor and also you know, Honorable Wasilat would not, you know, be writing these messages and also, you know, propelling him to the top.
Well, if you want to know where I stand on this appointment,
you don't look happy about it at all.
Catch up with this show tomorrow, and I will tell you all I know about Honorable Taiwo Lekan Salami. Undoubtedly the son of the man who supported Shooting Stars for many years, the former chairman of Shooting Stars, and of course supported them for so many years, whose name was also, who was actually named, who was named after Shooting Stars, after the stadium, Lekan Salami, Chief Lekan Salami. That's his son, but his pedigree in sports.
It begs questions.
I must say. Yeah, it's someone who loves sports, no doubt about it. But his interest in sport at this point,
it's not the right step for Shooting Stars. It's not. So you know, it's a whole lot. So that's why I said, you know, I just hope it's not political, you know, set up to see how far. It should not be for a club like Shooting Stars.
You know what? We'll talk about it off camera, or maybe tomorrow as well.
I mean, I would love to have it off camera with you because I'm sure you know so much about this, and you know, going forward.
It is well, but at the same time, because you are not a technocrat in sport doesn't mean you can't succeed at times. If you have the right people around you and you do the right things, you might also succeed. So that's why I'm not going to come and write him off completely.
It works that way for people. You know, you might not understand it, but if you have the right people that can put you through,
you're ready to listen.
you're ready to listen and you're ready to learn. You know, it helps.
And don't forget, it's an administrative proposition. You'll still have a GM. So what we don't know at this point is if the management team has also been dissolved. You know, I don't know if the GM, Dimeji Lawal, would ask to continue, or the new chairman will get in. And
that's the prayer I'm hoping for right now, that whosoever they are bringing along with Honorable Lekan Salami should be people that understand. They should understand, you know, how it works for Shooting Stars.
Because you know, one thing we also need to understand that as the executive chairman or the chairman of the board, which is somehow to me, because for me, Shooting Stars never had a board, and that's one of the things. Even I never had a board. We had a sole administrator, a chief executive, all right, who was Honorable Olanio. So now coming and saying dissolve a board, I was like, where's the board? There was no board. Well, then we'll come back to that. Really, honestly, it's a long discussion, and we'll talk about that soon. Let's move on the show and talk about the NNL Super 8, where a lot happened yesterday on match day 2, as Yobe Stars and Osun United have emerged as group leaders in the 2025 NNL Super 8 playoffs after the second round, of matches held yesterday in Asaba, Delta State. Now, both teams actually sit atop of their respective groups with 4 points from 2 games, positioning themselves as early favorites for promotion to the top flight. Well, let's take them one after the other, and as I can see on your screen, in Group A, well, initially marked as by a series of stalemates. Remember, their match they won, it was all goalless and all that. But yesterday, things changed, and we started seeing impressive results. Yobe Desert Stars secured a crucial 2-1 victory over Doma United yesterday, putting them in pole position with 4 points. 4 valuable points. The other group match between Barao FC and Wiki Tourists ended in another goalless draw, leaving both clubs and with 2 points apiece, while Doma United trails with 1 point. And there you have the result from yesterday. Now, there you have the Southern Conference B, Group B, where Osun United continued their strong start, bidding on their opening 2-0 win over Warri Wolves with a 1-1 draw against Crown FC of Ogbomoso. The result places Osun United at the summit with 4 points as well. Warri Wolves bounced back from their initial loss with a commanding 3-0 victory over Kun Khalifa Football Club yesterday, moving into joint second with 3 points. Kun Khalifa also has 3 points after an earlier win against Crown FC in their first game. Of course, for Crown FC, they remain bottom of the group with just 1 point. Not a good one. Now, final group matches will be held on later on. I think on Thursday and Friday. The final group matches, of course, will be held July 10 and 11. In Group A, all 4 teams remain mathematically in contention for qualification. As you can see on your screen. Yobe Desert Stars will face Wiki Tourists. Barao FC will clash with Doma United on Wednesday. Of course, Group B will have Kun Khalifa take on Osun United, and Warri Wolves will take on Crown Football Club of Ogbomoso. Those 2 games will be played 9 a.m. the same time. Well, here you have it. Crown FC failed to win yesterday. Don't forget the top 2 teams from each group will qualify for will be handed the tickets to the NPFL.
Yes. And for me, I think it's not a good one for Crown FC. We have given our support to them, hoping that they can do justice, in the field of play and give us, the ticket to the NPFL. But right now, it's not looking too good.
Not looking like
Group B, and it's not looking like it because having to face Warri Wolves. I know in the season that they faced each other twice. Both Crown FC picked up the victory on their home soil. Also, Warri Wolves also picking the victory on their home soil. So I think it's going to be a big battle, between Crown FC and Warri Wolves going into this round. But I'm sure, Kun Khalifa and Osun United also will be looking at why do I need to slip off, this ticket? I think I need to pick up for a team like Kun Khalifa. They have done fantastic over last season, and having to be in the Super 8 also is a big deal for them. So I don't know how Crown FC are going to pull the magic in this.
Destiny not in their hands.
It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. If only you can see a slip off, from the game between Osun United and Kun Khalifa.
So they will be hoping. First off, they have to get their job done.
Yes, get your job done first. So before we now start looking at our chat and what's happening in that game, I don't see how.
Quite difficult.
It's difficult.
Quite difficult. Quite unfortunate, I must say. Well, moving away from there, but still talking about the NNL, Wiki Tourist technical advisor, his name is Abdullahi Maikaba. Abdul Maikaba is what we'll call him, has blamed the poor officiating for his team's goalless draw against Barao Football Club in their Super 8 game. Maikaba believed that the referees played a role in the outcome of the game played at the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba, of course, yesterday. Well, according to him, and I quote, "I'm not happy with the officiating. The referees have taken sides, and I'm not happy at all," Maikaba said about the game yesterday. Wiki Tourists have recorded 2 points from their opening 2 games at the tournament. The Bauchi-based club, will be up against Yobe Desert Stars in their final group match of the competition on Thursday. I wasn't expecting anything less from all these coaches. these guys are taking it personal. They would have needed to take it personal because Wiki Tourist wants to return back to the NPFL ASAP. And that's why we're seeing them saying all that they are saying. But they must be very careful so they don't...
I was about to say, you know, if you're speaking like this, you should have evidence in your locker to prove that, you know, the referees, because coming out to say referees are being biased, you know, and they're not giving you the 3 points, I think is a whole lot of statement. So you must have a backing, you know, for such. And
you must be ready to face it.
And if truly the referees are actually doing that, then I think, you know, we need to sanction the referees in charge of that game and put things right, because we should not be having situations like this, you know, in Nigerian football.
Because KFC's first game as well was quite controversial.
Yes, controversial. We had the penalty.
The videos should stay, should not stay. I think at this point, referees should understand that you win some, you drop some, you lose some. It could be in your favor next time. So whatever the outcome is, or whatever the decision is, I mean, you have to just go with it.
Go with it and, you know,
leave the decision to the committee, referees committee to decide and come up with what's next. But with what you've seen so far, the Super 8, what do you make of the competition?
It's you know, from the first round for me, it's a little bit you know, draggy. We didn't get entertaining football. You know, I think all teams are just trying to be they were trying to be cautious of not playing just trying to avoid defeat, and let's see how far we can go. Let's see if we can pick up 1 point, 3 points, but if we cannot, then let's relax. But the second game, you know, we started seeing free-flowing football from each teams, and it's just a little bit of errors from the teams are playing in the northern and southern side also in that competition. And for me, you know, also Crown FC not picking up you know, all 3 points in the second game, you know, despite United
they led for like
90 minutes, and they picked up the red card in the 60th minute. So you expect that, you know, you should be able to do something with this game. At the end of the day, you know, you have to lose. You have to lose the game. I mean, yes, for me, it's a loss to them. You know, you have to draw the game. You know, in that beautiful encounter. But for me, it's been a wonderful football experience.
Remember the other day we had the media officer on the show, and I don't know, it was off camera. I was saying, I was asking, like, are you sure we can keep 2 teams in the NPFL? Are we sure we really want Crown FC to get promoted?
You know, it's what you said, and it's not looking like it right now. And I'm sure. Well, I don't know. Mathematically speaking, on that table, it doesn't look like we're going to have, you know, 2 teams, you know, represent all your states in the NPFL.
All right, let's move on this morning and go straight to Kano, where there is a major development. Of course, it's no longer news, but the man, the newly appointed general manager of Kano Pillars Football Club, Ahmed Musa, of course, yesterday promised to help the club to restore its lost glory. Musa's appointment was confirmed by the Kano State government last Saturday. The Super Eagles forward was part of the club's playing staff just last season. And of course, the 32-year-old scored 10 goals in 32 league appearances for Kano Pillars. Kano Pillars finished in a disappointing 9th position, you know, last season. That was a major blow for the club last season, I must say. Musa, yesterday, while meeting with stakeholders at the club secretariat yesterday, said that he will need the support of all the stakeholders to reposition the club. According to him, I want to assure everyone here that with your support and the backing of the board members, I will do everything possible to reposition the club and make it one of the finest, not only in Africa, but globally. Ahmed Musa speaking there.
Yeah, I think we actually said it yesterday that is for Kano Pillars. I think it's just you know, a big direction for them going in and bringing you know someone like Ahmed Musa of that pedigree, you know, the son of the soil, and he has so much to give them. You know, I remember. I'm trying to remember the name now. Speaking yesterday on you know, the contact.
Oh yeah, talking about his contact and what he can bring into the club.
What he can bring to the club right there. Also, I'm seeing in the picture I saw Shehu Abdullahi also in that
moral support for him.
You know, moral support also. So I think you know, if you have the right people, you know, you have the right structure, and you have it on the table that this is what we want to do. You know, for Kano Pillars, I think it's going to be a big deal. You know, for them having such you know, a player like Ahmed Musa, you know, lead the management team right right there. So we're hoping that we'll see those changes quickly, you know, bring in good players, bring in, you know, sponsors for the club, and let's enjoy good football right there from Kano Pillars.
And questions begging for answers this morning is it that Musa is not leaving the country anymore? So, has he retired from active football?
So right
will he
now,
remain in Kano?
So is he in Kano? We know that is part of the management.
This man looks like someone who will return to Europe anyway.
Actually, because for me,
or Saudi,
maybe Saudi to get the money in the pocket, maybe start to pumping back, you know, for Kano Pillars Club and to see how far they can go.
But the truth is, I can't imagine him return to Saudi Arabia or Turkey to play football and still the general manager of Kano Pillars.
You know, maybe you know when you have a team, you know, you have your team. You can, if you have the right team, you can be rest assured that things, you know, can go better for you, even if you're not in place. But I'm sure, you know, even if he's in Saudi Arabia or he's in Turkey, whatever club he is, you know, he's going to be playing for next season. I'm sure he will be communicating with them, you know, day in, day out to make sure, you know, things are in place going forward. But I think for me, it's a big direction for Kano Pillars in this stage to have Ahmed Musa, you know, take over.
But I'm sure that all of that would have been discussed with the governor before the appointment. So let's hope that this will bear good fruit.
Good fruit.
Exactly. Let's move on this morning. Well, the Super Eagles B team, Nigeria's home-based national squad, commenced preparations for the 2025 African Nations Championship CHAN with an initial training session yesterday. Last night, actually, was held at the Remo Stars Stadium in Ikenne. A total of 31 players were in attendance for the first session yesterday, which began about 7 p.m. under floodlight. An additional 24 players are expected to join the camp today, bringing the squad closer to full strength ahead of the continental tournament. Now, the training session marks the beginning of a crucial phase as the Eagles prepare to represent Nigeria in Group D of the CHAN competition, where they will face Senegal, Sudan, and Congo. Now, the players who participated in the opening sessions are, well, a large chunk of them actually came from Remo Stars, who are actually hosting the camp. Undoka Jr. from Remo Stars, Adedayo Olanipekun, Sadiq Ismail, Kayode Bankole, Tochukwu Michael, Sikiru Alimi, Hadi Aruna, and of course, Rivers United stars like Abdurrafiu Taiwo, Taofik Olaniyi, Henry Ani, Egbe Stephen, Nekem Okon. Also, Ikorodu City stars like Harrison Austin, Adelani Shola, Ayomide Cole, Leonard Ngenge, shooting stars Spider goalkeeper. Lawal Mustafa was also in training yesterday. Plateau United's Temitope Vincent, Kwara United's Nuruddin Badmos, Afiz Bankole, Aimbers Joseph Atule, all took part in training yesterday, as you can see on your screen. Nigeria will kick off their CHAN campaign against Senegal on the 5th of August, followed by fixtures against Sudan on the 12th of August, and of course their last group game against Congo on the 19th of August. All group matches will be crucial in determining qualification to the knockout rounds of the tournament, which features only players plying their trade in their respective domestic league. And there you have the players training in Ikenne yesterday to learn.
I think for me it's a good one and a big direction going forward for the home-based players, you know, representing us in that big stage, and we're expecting victory, you know, from them, and having to see, you know, our key players actually represent us. You know, the likes of Sikiru Alimi in that squad, and also the Spider, you know, are from Shooting Stars. But I was expecting more players from Shooting Stars, you know, to represent us right there.
Actually, only Spider.
Only Spider-Man. So we only have the Spider, you know, representing us from Shooting Stars. But I think, you know, it's a good direction going forward, and we're expecting them to give us, you know,
and a large chunk of players from the champions.
From the champions, Remo Stars. You know, it's expected, you know, to see them, you know, fielding such talented players right there going forward. So I think for me, it's a good direction going forward for them, and we hope that they can, you know, secure all victory in that, you know, competition.
What do you make of that training base, really?
It's actually beautiful. You know, it's the floodlights, you know, the field of play. I'm sure the players are, you know, they beg the question. For me, I'm wondering, so how can we have, so is it just private clubs owned that can put things in place? Why can't we have government-based clubs also have such training pitch, enjoy good football? I'm trusting me, most of them will be smiling and be like, oh, how can I get into the Remo Stars team? Come on, you can't, you know.
You know, what you said reminds me of what happened when Shooting Stars tried to bring in some players after the renovation of Lagos Stadium, when it was still very new and all of that. So the player came in and gave him a tour of the stadium. So he went to the dressing room and was like, I sit on fine like this.
Imagine.
I know they go back, go again.
Imagine.
I go sign.
I go sign.
You know that kind of thing.
Imagine.
I go sign. You know, when you see facilities like
Yeah.
that, you're impressed. You're motivated.
Yes, you're motivated to enjoy good football. Yes, you want to keep.
And look at that hybrid. I think this is like 1 of 5. It's an hybrid pitch, right? 1 of 5 in that facility. Okay. Now the main pitch itself is currently going through regressing ahead of next season. Yes. Again. Ahead of next season. And I mean, no wonder that you're getting the results.
Yes, you're getting the results. You know, you ask the question, if you put this in place and the players are not doing right for you, I think you can be rest assured to kick them out of the club because you have everything in place for them to succeed.
And that is the clubhouse right behind you.
So right now, I'm sure. Right now, I want to ask you if you can give me a tour to Remo Stars, and I just want to see how it's fantastic. I mean, also, I heard that in Remo Stars. No, we can't keep. I don't just want to talk about Remo Stars on and on, but I think it's just a call to every our government-owned based club to put things in place. You have the money, just do it right, and let these players enjoy good football right there.
Well, let's move away from things that's currently hurting Toluwani this morning and talk about a whole more exciting competition, and that's the WAFCON. Yes, there you have it. WAFCON yesterday. 2 big games we saw yesterday. South Africa opened their campaign. I mean, they're looking to defend the competition. 2-0 against Ghana yesterday. Important victory for them against another top opposition, Ghana.
Another top opposition, and for me, South Africa is a big threat for me. I don't see any other threat in the WAFCON. South Africa and I think Zambia, if I'm correct, yes, they are the top threats, in that competition for me going forward. And for me, Ghana, because even the coach complained about preparations, right there for the Ghanaians, the Black Queens. But for me, South Africa are the defending champions, so they want to start in good front, which they did yesterday. 2-0 against the Black Queens of Ghana.
What a way to start your defense of the crown. Also, Mali were 1-0 victors over Tanzania. A good one for the Malians as well. Before we leave the Falcons, a quick one from our group. Our group taking shape. We are topping the group. I think we forgot to display that yesterday. So it's important that we get to see our girls on top of our group, courtesy of that 3-0 victory yesterday, on Sunday rather. And there you have it on your screen. +3, we're topping our group. Algeria 2nd, Botswana 3rd, and Tunisia. And at our group, after match day 1. Of course, our next game, you want to talk about it?
Our next game, I think, the media officer said yesterday, we're not going to just look over all the teams. We're going to play them like we are playing, our top teams right there. So I don't want us to go back, and look at, Botswana and say, come on, we can just demolish them, but let's enjoy good football. Let's get the win, and let's, put things, right going forward. And the girls are just enjoying themselves. Yesterday, I saw a video of, Azizat Oshoala and Deborah also, enjoying good music, performing for us in the concerts. I think they're not enjoying themselves. But I think the test is going to come when we start to face a big opposition side, going forward in the competition. Remember, it's Mission X, and we are going for the La Decima at the 10th WAFCON title.
Those girls will give you more than football, quality football. They would entertain you.
Actually, they're actually entertaining us.
Praise and worship before games,
after the game. Then right now we're having concerts. They promised to give. So yesterday I enjoyed good concert. Deborah, backing up with Azizat Oshoala. I don't know what's going to happen again after the win against Botswana. Maybe it's going to be a dinner. Maybe they're going to cook for themselves. It's just good football. And the Super Falcons are always entertaining us, both on the field and off the field of play.
Honestly, that's what you want to see, especially off the field, because that is what comes to play on the pitch of play. It shows the cohesion when you are doing things the right way off the pitch. And that's why you get a good result.
And I must give credit to Azizat Oshoala. I've seen her, bring these young girls together.
Yes, I was going to say that. The senior players are doing it well. I mean, Rashida Ajibade doing that also. Of course, our sister also doing that. I mean, all of those senior players doing that, because we have a number of young stars.
Are doing that. So I think, like you said, the cohesion, the chemistry is all there. Even we also saw, Chiamaka Nnadozie also giving us the VAR style of walking and the movement. So I think it's a lot of love, in the camp. And please just let the love, give us the Mission X and let it give us the La Decima, please.
Mission X is the target. La Decima is the target. Give us what we deserve. Away from that, Toluwani, this will interest you. And this is Samson Siasa versus John Obi Mikel season 4. 4.
Okay, season 4 now. Okay,
There you have it on your screen.
I just wanted to be sure I've not missed any episode.
No, we've not missed. So do the honors to Toluwani. What do you have on your screen? Here's Samson Siasia speaking. He says, I won't talk to Nigerian journalists again. Why would anyone say I said Mikel or his agents offered me money? I saw this yesterday and I was like, Siasa, what's up?
Okay, so
Siasa, what's going on?
Honestly, for me, you know, I had no words when I saw this report because I had to go back to the video.
Because remember that Danny Shitu,
Yeah.
the former agent of John Mikel, came out to say that Siasa called him and apologized for saying that, right? And now you're saying you were misquoted,
or maybe
the same video we all saw.
So I'm wondering, you know,
now pushing the blame at Nigerian journalists.
So I was so happy that it was not a voice note. If not, would have said maybe AI, you know, tampered with that. But so AI cannot give us your picture again because if it's AI now, trust me, I'm done. I'm so done. If it's AI that can do that, also I'm done. But come on, Samson Siasia, you come on, you're a legend of the game, and you should not be doing this at all. And I think we should just get over with this situation of Samson Siasia, you know, coming out. He also said, so funny how he says he wasn't going to speak to any media again. I saw a video yesterday, him speaking to a media, you know, in another state right there, in Lagos State.
So it was on that station,
yes.
He confirmed that he never said all those things and that he will not speak to any Nigerian journalist again.
So I don't understand why.
I mean, you said all those things.
I don't know, maybe his lawyer must have said, find a way, because that 250 million, I don't know how you want to see it.
Yeah, just what Toluwani said, that was what I was about to say, that the agent of Danny Shitu, former agent of John Mikel, has said he will sue him 250 million naira. And I'm saying,
so you asked what does want to find 250 million?
This is Wala
It's
Promax. I better come up with apology and not give excuses.
But the apology should be better now, not saying that you did not say it. You said it. That's the point. You said it, and we all watched the video.
I mean, you should do better than this, honestly. You should do better than this. All right, a quick one coming from athletics. Yeah, we've been having a bit of bad news from athletics all this while, but since Sunday we've had great news, and this has to do with Nigeria's Ajayi Koinsola, who won the men's 100 meters at the meeting de Sotteville in France, tying his personal best of 9.92 seconds. That's a sub 10 for you there. He broke the meet record and rode to the victory, beating Emmanuel Eseme, who ran 10.04 seconds, and Mamadou Fall, who ran 10.10 seconds. This is what you want from your sprinters. Sub 10 ahead of major competitions.
You know, and they're all doing great. You know, right there. Yesterday we spoke about Toby Amusa also. You know, doing something fantastic. And you know, she has been doing that. You know, after all the old issue, and she has been getting good wins on the track. And also, we have it again. Another, you know, another sprinter right there. You know, breaking the record. Ajayi Koinsola also winning in France. And you know, at the record, the best 9.92. And so most of the time, when I hear
tied his personal best.
When I hear of such seconds, I ask myself, so can I do 9.92? No, so I want it's a whole lot of my thought process, and I wonder how do you do 9.92? You do 8.8. You do 9. You do 8.
Consistent practice,
and I think it's just a big one. You know, and you know, congratulations to Ajayi right there.
Consistent practice. Let's switch things up and move straight to Europe, talking about the UEFA women's UEFA Women's Euros. Yeah. There you have it. Big one yesterday. Yeah. Spain qualified for the quarterfinals following their 6-2 victory over Belgium. I mean, we see things like this often in female football.
In female football, especially you know, in you know, for the Super Falcon, we see them always throwing demolitions right there. But right now, Spain are running riot. You know, they're firing from all cylinders right there. At the last game, also, you know, a big victory, a big margin for them. So you know, I think the Spanish team, you know, they're now becoming a threat. You know, going into this competition, and I'm wondering who can stop them right now. The England side, who had their first you know, the first game they lost, so I don't know the motivation they need to get going forward in the second game.
England
Also, you know, we have Portugal against Italy also played, you know, a 1-0 draw. So I think the competition is going on a fine form right there, and people are really enjoying the game of football. You asked the question yesterday. You said why is the stadium of, you know, WAFCON not full and the European football?
Do you have to bring that back? Do you have to bring that back?
You know,
it's obvious.
It's obvious. It's obvious. You know.
All right, there you have the Group B. Those are the games we saw yesterday. Those two games in this group. So it's Spain through 6 points. Italy and Portugal, they still have a slim chance. Either of those two of making it out of that group. Belgium officially out. They've not picked a single point.
So it's affecting both the men and also both the female team. So I think they need a whole lot of restructuring in that side.
So Luani, let's talk transfers. A number of transfers are in European football to talk about. Honestly, a lot is happening as far as transfer is concerned, and I mean a lot has been happening at Arsenal.
You know, I asked the question yesterday. I said, who's pumping in the money for the Gunners at this point in time? You know, it's back-to-back transfers. You know, Martin Zubimendi, Christian Nørgaard. You know, we're getting a report that, you know, Noni Madueke. Also, we're getting
we're linked to Noni yesterday.
Yesterday, so it's been,
and the Gyökeres story is still.
And you know, Gyökeres is trying to force a move. He's not coming to training. So it's a whole lot of talent, you know, coming to the Arsenal right now. So, but you beg the question, you know, who can undo this talent? Can this talent now bring in?
So it's one thing to bring those stars. It's another thing to bring out the best
of the stars right there. So you know, how do you manage them? How do you get trophies in the cabinet? Trust me, if Arsenal can get all these wonderful signings in the squad and they don't achieve anything next season, I think anybody supporting Arsenal should just resign. You know, just sign your contract and say you are done and come and support Shooting Stars. You know, don't worry, we'll give you good football here. Don't worry, we'll give you good football.
All right, we also heard news that Ola Aina has extended his contract also at Nottingham Forest.
It shows that, you know, they trust him. You know, they enjoy his football, and Ola Aina has been one of the fantastic players for Nottingham Forest. You know, last season. So I think it's a good one for Ola Aina to still play his trade in England.
I was actually expecting him to move to a bigger club, honestly, but it is what it is. Well, for Newcastle, we understand that they've agreed a fee with Nottingham Forest to sign Anthony Elanga. And as the news coming from there this morning. And also, guess what? Former Arsenal sporting director, Edu, has joined Nottingham Forest. It's a new role.
Yes, a new role
for the global head of football.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a big change. It's going to bring change. You know, for Nottingham Forest right there, going into, you know, I remember global football also. I think so. They need you know, someone like that, you know, to help them shaping their club and also bring things, you know, going forward for Nottingham Forest. Remember they did fantastic last season. Just slips here and there that could not give them the UEFA Champions League ticket right there. But you know, having to bring in you know, someone that has that that talent and that skills, that experience right there. I think it's going to be a big
talent from anywhere
for you. And for me, Anthony Elanga to Newcastle a little bit. I'm wondering, why did Nottingham Forest allow this man go? So it begs the question. I cannot, you know, phantom it. Why did you allow Anthony Elanga leave you know, your club side? He did fantastic for you last season. I think you just need to just extend his contract and maybe add a little bit to his salary and let him enjoy football for you and play good football for you. But I think a big addition for Nottingham Forest, and Eddie Howe knows how to manage you know, players like this and bring out the best in them. Look at Anthony Gordon, you know, what he has done for Newcastle over the last 2 seasons, 3 seasons right there. So I think it's an addition for Newcastle and a minus, you know, for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Major, you can say that again. And let's talk about some of the transfers we've seen so far, Charlie, in the Premier League. For now, I mean, no doubt about it, Arsenal have been doing a lot. Which of those clubs do you feel needs to do more to strengthen their squad ahead of the new season?
Okay,
the new season is right here. August is almost here.
So for me, I think you know, Manchester City have done a whole lot. You know, so right now you are worried that what's going to happen. Then Liverpool also, you know, are doing the business. You know, Florian Wirtz, you know, Milos Kerkers, you know, players like this in the locker, they have them stacked up right there. But you look at Manchester United, you look at, you know, a player like Matheus Cunha, fantastic player also. But you look at, it's not only Matheus Cunha you need in your squad. You know, we got the report that Rasmus Højlund is saying, come on, I want to be a part of Manchester United squad next season. But if the club does not want me, I'm going to leave. But you wonder if Rasmus Højlund can be saying that, and you know that there's no top striker that will come into at this point that can come into Manchester United squad that does not have an European ticket. So it begs to you beg
the best thing is to say, let's keep the ones we have.
Let's keep the ones you have. And right now you have the likes of Marcus Rashford. Also, they said you need to find a new club. Alejandro Garnacho, also find a new club. Tyrell Malacia also find a new club.
What would you advise the Man United at Old Trafford to do at this point? With the situation they are, because without European football, it will be hard to attract big names.
Yes.
But you need a solid season to get back into Europe.
Yes.
What would you do at this point?
So for me right now, because looking at the management structure, I think right now they're just giving it to Ruben Amorim to do your thing right now, because we brought you in towards the tail end of the season for a purpose. Right now, and you look at it, it looks like he has so much going on with these players, but he's not saying it.
Yeah.
But right now, Sancho, Rashford, Garnacho, Tyrell Malacia, these players are going to be shipped out of Manchester United. Now you now look at, if you have these players shipped out, who comes in? And do you have a replacement if the player, like if Ahmad goes injured? Do you have a replacement? Also, we get a report that Anthony also might not be in the squad next. So do you have a replacement for all these players? If they get injured, are you going to bring in the under 18? Are you going to bring in the under 20 to come play? So it begs the question of what's going on with Manchester United right here. So and right now it's a whole lot, because
you look at what business others are doing at this moment. Look at what City is doing. Liverpool, Chelsea
also. Chelsea are getting in quality players in the squad, and it looks like these are the players that Enzo Maresca wants for himself.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like it's what the management. It's like it's calling for these players themselves to see how far he can go for next season.
And we're responsible
for it. And players like I'm so glad that you see players like Joao Felix, looking like a man going back to Benfica. Also, Raheem Sterling. But right now it's a whole lot for Enzo Maresca. I just hope he can find a situation around this attacking force.
Because it kind of had a lot of large squad up front.
Up front, I think we have like 10, 11 attackers in that squad.
And I'm some sure will live alone.
Yeah, actually, so it's a whole lot.
All right, from there, I mean, it's been a lot talking transfers, honestly. It's the season, so we got to talk about it. And more will come, especially, I mean, after the Fan Club World Cup, we'll have more. More transfers will be done. All right, tonight at FIFA Club World Cup, Fluminense will take on Chelsea at 8 p.m. And don't forget, we are calling for your predictions. Of course, get on to the comments and drop your prediction. 2,000 at stake as usual. Toluani, we have the big one ahead of us tonight. Chelsea fans are speaking. Fluminense, everyone in Brazil believe that Fluminense has a chance in this one. Going by Chelsea's records against Brazil.
South America. Yes, I think for me, I don't want to tip Fluminense going into this one, but I think if they can put all things right, maybe in the first half, I don't get the early goals, or if they themselves can get the early goals against Chelsea, I'm sure with the experience of Thiago Silva, and the goalkeeper, right there, I think they can make that difficult for Chelsea to get another goal right there in that competition, in that game. But I think for me, Fluminense, they have it all to do. They have fast forward attackers. Hercules has been doing fantastic right there. He's a beast, in front of goal, for Fluminense and also in the FIFA Club World Cup. So I think Chelsea just need to understand, what pattern of formation are we going to use this time around, because it's like Enzo just tells the player, enjoy yourself. Just right now, let's say I never set formation.
No issues.
Just enjoy yourself.
This is more like pre-season.
So just enjoy yourself right now.
But you also want to look at it from this angle to say they've played two South American teams so far in this competition, right? They lost the first, then
the one.
They grew against Palmeiras. They won. I felt they're beginning to find a way around this South American side.
Yeah, I think now they're now understanding how to play them. Having played, so it's for them to, they have played two, and so I think they can understand. Okay, I think this is how they work. So you watch videos, you watch clips, and understand how best to approach the game against South American side. But for me, like I said, if Fluminense can get an early goal, in the first half or maybe the second half, I'm sure they're going to keep it compact. And the most thing, and I'm sure what Chelsea does not want is to be caught on the break. Counter attack, and you have the likes, the man firing from all cylinders. Hercules right there, doing justice. For me also, I think from Joao Pedro needs to start for Chelsea. Remember Lem Delap also picking up a red yellow card, and I just hope that Enzo Maresca does not make a mistake of starting Jackson. He's back right now, and so I'll be expecting Joao Pedro you know, to start that game, because, you know, when he came on against Palmeiras, we saw what he could do. You know, a brilliant man, and also Moise Caicedo also will be back also. So I'm sure Chelsea would be looking at this game to bury it and see themselves in the final.
Your prediction?
My prediction is going to be Chelsea 2, you know, Fluminense 1.
All right. So the 2,000 naira does not extend to your prediction, honestly. All right. Tomorrow we'll have Real Madrid take on PSG. Yeah. That's one game we are looking forward to seeing. But then we're back tomorrow on the show to talk about that one, and of course a whole lot more happening. Don't forget, it's the season of football, season of sports. July is loaded, honestly, because we'll be having the Copa America, Women's Copa America also very soon.
You know,
next week.
So I think
It's a lot, yeah?
I don't know if you don't love sports because of us. Please love sports, because we're going to give you back to back. You don't want to miss.
Do you even have a choice?
Do you have a choice?
Well, that's the size of the show today. Big thanks to Toluwade for being part of the show today. Many thanks to the entire production crew as well. We'll be back tomorrow for another exciting edition of Dominion Sports right here on Dominion Television. My name is Bolu Adiogma. Do have a lovely day.